It's amazing the movements you can get out of these particular kits and the sort of amazing poses as well. Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and I'm going to be looking at this new Bandai kit today. It's the Getter Arc. Now, the Getter Arc is from a new animation which has just been showing in Japan this year, so 2021. But it's actually from a manga series, so if you're not sure what it is, manga is actually like the comic books of Japan, and that came out quite some time ago. But this is a new version, which is a slightly different shape of the Getter Arc from the new anime. So let's look inside. Alright, so we've got some really nice box art, and this particular box art of just the head and the shoulders, or the bust section, is really quite striking. On the sides of the boxes you have a better idea of what it's going to look like once it's already built. Then also on this side, like so. And you'll see on this too, this is the newer style Bandai packaging, which has Japanese and also English. So they weren't difficult to build before, but you wouldn't know all the background information that they have in the manuals. So you can read all about it now. Let's have a look inside. Got a box full of parts, pretty traditional looking Bandai multicolored pieces. Now I'll move this aside and we'll look at each package as we go. All right, so we have our grey parts here, which consist of quite a few of the main armor parts. You see, this is the pelvis section here. That'll probably be the back, chest, some leg sections. On this side we have further armor parts. You've got the various hands. These are the hands which are opened, and then you have the gripped hands as well. So you can have this particular figure holding weaponry or in the open stance. Looks like there's a couple of options here too for perhaps the face pieces. I'll check that in the manual a bit later. And there's a foot. So I'm guessing it's probably another molding with the other parts in it as well. Alright, from there, I get this bag. This is the included stand. There's a lot of parts included. All the clear parts are great. It's fully adjustable, so you can have the figure in, say, a flying pose, off the ground pose, pretty much any pose you like. Fully extends, it's hinged, and has multiple connection pieces. So these are I guess you can call them the hangers or the grips. And they have different widths in them to fit various models and also various poses. There's a lot of looking like a bit like geared system. This is the ratcheting type arrangement, so it can hold in different angles in place. Right, from there we have, this is a very recognizable multicolored mold. Might be a bit harder to see. These are the grey parts here. Oh, sorry, the green parts. You have some stickers included. Molded gold. And then some more red parts. These look like shoulder armor. And then this is probably the base of the feet. Looks like the soles on the bottom there with some grids. And this part here is actually a different color again. That's actually an orange, whereas this part is gold. All right. This part is two sprues which appear identical. So it's the D parts and D parts. Yes, it is. Okay, and they're identical because that's where the axes are. So if I hold it like that, you can see the double-sided axe. And there's various joints here as well. There's a mace. All very primitive style weapons for a mecha. But mecha's so big, anything this sort of size is going to make a big dent in whatever it hits. And then we get to our final bag. So this has two types of coloured sprue in it as well. Here we have the other parts for the leg, identical to the other side, although this has the different shapes for the head here. Okay, so you've got the winged, I guess you call those winged ears. And then that's probably a shoulder piece, I'm guessing, and spine piece and shoulder guards. Then on this side, there's more grey. This has different parts for the pelvis. Some more spiky bits. So spiky bits are on the back. It's got this sort of fan action across the back. All right, let's have a closer look at the manual now. Manuals are really nice. Always from Bandai. You've got your gloss printing. Artwork there again from the box, and then a picture of the actual finished model. You can see the spikes that are protruding. It's a little bit samurai style, although that shape would have been on the helmets rather than the back. A lot of these sort of mechs do get a lot of influence from the Japanese history. Over here we have the legend of all the parts. So you know exactly where to find the components. They're all numbered here. Makes it easier when you're going through the manual where it indicates a particular part. Recommended tools. And then this is showing you how to find the part and how it's actually numbered on the sprue. There's guides on how to cut, and then how everything fits together. So we start with the head unit. You've got the head unit there. Get your various parts. So this is the winged head we saw earlier. You've got the various colored ears, I guess. Color separation is really good. So what I mean by color separation is Bandai designs their kits so they can be put together, and they look almost painted because they have the color separation, so you don't actually need to paint them to have them looking quite decent. Obviously, if you paint it, it will look better because you'll have a bit more depth involved. Here's a mask, and this is where you've got the options. So this is where we had those two parts before. You can have it as an open mouth or a closed mouth. Eyes are going in, so you've got the stickers that do the eyes. Back closes together, and there you have your head completed. So they're the two versions. Open mouth, closed mouth. All right, from there we start doing the arms. And when you do arms, quite often, because left and right will be the same, you basically do two of the same thing. So that'll be the joints. So the joints will be matched left and right. Building the joints here, and then from this point of the basic joint, you do the left side, and then, the right side, and then the left side. So the two arms completed here with the optional hands. And then the leg units, designed the same way. The main section is actually identical all the way down to here. And then it gets separated into the right leg, which has got a slightly different joint, to the left leg. And then the foot in place with the ball joint. Chest unit comes in next. So we've got all these parts going in, a lot of color separation. Neck component, chest going into the pelvis. And then that's all completed, and then you get all your sub-assemblies. You get your head, you get your arms, chest, legs, press together, and you end up with your finished Getter Arc. Over here we've got the backpack. So the backpack is that big spiky bit we saw before. You can see here where it's in its lower position, so you can have it either way. You flip it around, and then the display base. So quite simple to snap together. And you can see here how it's got the different arms to allow you to attach and get your different poses. And then you've got the instructions on how to get your different options. So backpack with the spikes down, turn it around, spikes up. And then you've got this battle shot cutter, which is, I guess you call it the little cutters that are on the forearm. So you can have those protruded or non-protruded, and then the tomahawk, they say, which is a double-sided axe. And you can actually join it together and make this big, massive, I don't know what you call it, multi-headed axe, I guess, halberd style chopper-upper thing. And then on the back, you have some colored pictures of the completed model and all the possible really action poses that you can get. And it's amazing the movements you can get out of these particular kits and the sort of amazing poses as well. So you can have it just standing around like the hero type super mech pose, like big muscles out, or you can have him like fighting, jumping, flying through the air. That's a great thing about these kits as well, because after you build them, because there's so many joints in them and the options, you'll never get bored with it. You can change a pose for your display, or you can create it in different scenarios for model photography, which is a big thing these days too. So there you go. This is the Bandai high grade Getter Arc.